Hello students, let us continue with our second chapter, class as a basis of all computation. The contents that we will cover today are implementing objects, message and message passing, class and its needs, class as abstraction for sets of objects. In this topic, we will study about that how a real-world object can be implemented as a software object. As you know that a real object has a state and a behavior. The state represents the features or the characteristics it has, and behavior tells the functionality of that object. Therefore, the state of a real-world object is described as a variable in the software terms, and the behavior of a real-world object is described as the set of functions of that particular object in software terms. And third here is given as identity. Identity, it is the object or the value that is used by JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine, inside its working. So to identify each object uniquely. So identity is used by JVM to differentiate one object from the other object. Now we have discussed that class is a collection of similar kind of objects. Now what is the use of these objects? Objects are used to communicate with each other to serve a particular functionality, to serve a particular purpose. Now, how do they communicate with each other is known as message passing. This communication is known as message passing, and what they communicate in between them is known as a message. So, we can say messages are informations or requests that objects send to other objects or to themselves. Whereas, what is the components of a message? The components include the name of the object to receive the message, the name of the method to perform, and the number of parameters needed for the method. Here we can see in this slide, manager and employee are the objects, and the manager is conveying a message to the employee. And here is the message to whom manager is sending. The message is object 2, and it is employee here. Object 1 is manager, object 2 is employee. So manager is sending a message to employee. So in two part it is written employee. The name we have studied, the name of the method to perform, it is method name, and the manager is sending a message to employee that he has been hired, that he has got an employment. So method name here is get hired, and the parameters that he is sending, the values that he is sending to the employee is that you are hired with the salary of $45,000 and you will start your job on 10th on the 21st October 99. I hope everything is clear from this slide. Next is class and its needs. We know that class is a blueprint or a design for number of objects, and all the objects exhibit the behavior of their class. This is the example that I have discussed in the previous video, that here dog is a class and The object 1 is representing here German Shepherd, and German Shepherd belong to the category of dogs. Next object of this class is Bulldog, and here Bulldog is also belongs to the category of dogs. Means they are German Shepherd and Bulldog. Both are the dogs, and they share behavior of which class? Dog class. And here breed, size, color, age are represented as variable or data in the classes, and eat, run, name and functions are the functions of this method. So anything a class possesses is possessed by the objects of its class also. Like here, dog class has the variables breed, size, color, age. Like for example, this German Shepherd has breed, size, color, age. Function of the dog class is eat, run, name, and this function is also exhibited by both the objects German Shepherd and Bulldog. So what is the need of the class? We can say that in Java everything revolves around objects and classes. Without classes we cannot run or we cannot develop any program in Java. So this is the main need of a class in Java, and without these classes we cannot create objects, as objects are the part of the class, or we can say that objects are the instances of this class. Here German Shepherd and Bulldog are the instances or objects of the class dog. Now this what is written over here is class as abstractions for sets of objects. We have discussed yesterday that what do you mean by abstraction? Abstraction is the act of representing essential features without including the background details. Now let us take the examples of abstraction, why we say that class is an abstraction. Here, person is a class which has these features: first name, last name, skills, job. Means we can say that a person has these characteristics. And Victor, John, Roger are the objects of this class person. Next example of this is of the class is job. Job has a characteristic company, position, salary. And the objects of this job class are here developer, tennis player. Means why we say that a class is an abstraction? Because the existence of the class is conceptual. It is logical. It does not actually exist. But what actually exists are the objects of these class. So here Victor, John, Roger all possess the characteristics of this class person, and developer and tennis player here all possess the features of this class job, that is company name, position and salary. In the next example it is clear that here class is the abstraction, dog class is the abstraction for the objects German Shepherd and Bulldog. Thus, we can say that a class is a named software representation for an abstraction. Means when we have to develop a program, we need to give a name to a class and to develop that particular class with their definition and the methods. Next is, an object is a distinct instance of a given class that is structurally identical to all other instances of that class. As I have already told you that objects are the part of the classes and they share the structure of the class. And what is the structure of the class? The variables and the functions that it is having. Next, software code in OOPS is written to define classes, instantiate objects, and manipulate these objects. Means everything in OOPS in Java is revolving around classes, objects, and manipulations of these objects. And how do we manipulate these objects? By messages and message passing. Lastly, objects are the instance of a class. It is already clear that objects are made up of the classes, and we can say that they are the part of the class or instance of the class. And class is an object factory. We know factory produces many items. So how can we say, what do you mean by object factory? Factory of objects. And we are saying that class is a factory of objects, means class is producing number of objects. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture and the concepts regarding classes, OOPS, and objects are clear to you.